Yes people, what is happening? I am BA, back once again with another reaction in the Band of Brothers series. This is episode 2 and it is called Day of Days. Last episode. Basically the whole of the last episode was showing us Easy Company and their training regime leading them into being deployed. It was an amazing episode. I always love when we get to see these boot camp segments and see the brutal training these guys have to go through before they get deployed. And it was an interesting character, David Schwimmer's drill instructor, who was a very good teacher but incredibly bad when actually applicating his skill set in the field. We saw him get transferred to a training school, so I'm assuming this next episode is going to be them actually getting into the war, so I'm looking forward to it. So without further ado, this is episode 2, Day of Days. Let's check it out and see what it's saying to it. Hi, I'm combing the credits right now, waiting to see who wrote this episode. Tom Hanks wrote the last episode. I'm assuming he didn't write them all, so I'm curious as to who's continuing the story from there. Because at the end of the day, you know, I know it's a combinative effort of many things, but really legendary TV shows do truly start with a script, so whoever wrote this and outlined the story is clearly a very good writer. Otherwise, it wouldn't be regarded as highly as it is. Okay, this one is not written by Tom Hanks.
I could see the lights on a drop zone.
Okay, so interviews with the real people is going to be like the cold open of this show. They are definitely showing me poor crying old men before the end of this show.
How do you prepare yourself mentally? Each man must do that himself.
I would imagine, obviously, that, you know, warrior mindset is being drilled into them throughout their boot camp, but at the end of the day, it's on each individual person to come to terms with what they are about to do.
Yeah. You try to put it all on your mind.
Episode 2, teary-eyed old men, don't fucking do it to me. I don't want to watch OAP's crying, right? And I bet he's like the least cryy one. They were like, throw him in episode 2. He didn't even cry that much. Wait until they see our episode 10 guy. He bubbled like a school child. Damn, those aeroplanes were noisy. There was no fortunate son getting blasted out these aeroplanes before they dropped out. They didn't even have a badass soundtrack. These guys were fucking diving to their deaths listening to jazz and shit. That's fucking hardcore.
Yes, sir! He's in Lieutenant Me and Stick, sir!
I would at least want a bit of MOP or Rammstein, you know, depending on what genre you like. I ain't diving out no fucking plane to some lounge blues. Literally the only good thing about this shit is some of the views you would get out of the drop hatch of the aeroplane. It's a really good way to display nerves, you know, they're all somewhat stoic in their faces, but yeah, the nervousness is coming out in the fidgetiness of their hands. Especially that guy masturbating in the corner, he needs to chill the fuck out. That's an epic shot, just above cloud level going through a thunderstorm. What was the episode budget for this show? Like, did they have an episode by episode budget? If so, what was it? This is obviously before the day and age of your ridiculous Game of Thrones episode budgets, but they seem to have achieved a hell of a lot with whatever they had to work with. Holy shit! So a lot of Easy Company would have been just taken out in their initial approach in the skies. This is one hell of a barrage they're facing. Think about how disorientating it would be as well with the engine noise and the shakiness of the turbulence, the thunderstorm, the night, and then just these fucking explosive projectiles zooming up to take you and all your friends out, looking at other planes exploding in the sky next to you, and then burning alive inside the cabin of the plane if you get hit like those guys. Couple dudes just skydived out of the fire opening there. As you would. I would definitely take my chances. Holy shit. You know what's crazy? This is almost like the Sky version of the sea invasion of Normandy Beach in Saving Private Ryan. The way they've just came straight into a slaughter field. And it's quite interesting to see a similarly brutal situation, but from a completely different perspective. What a camera shot that was, getting to see how fucking weird your vertical would be jumping out in a situation like that. And I'm assuming if you're jumping, your plane's already been hit. Oh shit! Fucking hell, shot straight through the head. Yo, this episode is insane. Because this is a night invasion, the CGI doesn't even look that bad and it's blending in quite well. Steven Spielberg was very smart about how to hide bad CGI back in the day. Like, Jurassic Park still looks better than modern Marvel movies, and it was made in the 90s. I know he didn't direct this episode, but he produced the whole thing. Guarantee he was calling in favours left and right, stretching that budget like only a big powerful name can.
Follow me.
And then from there, it's like, okay, we have actually made it to the ground, somewhat in one piece. Now the enemy is in all four directions. Go. No fucking base to drop to, not even a bunker, not even a dugout little fucking place to take cover. You are in the middle of an enemy country and they're all around you. What do you do? Those anti-aircraft guns have a very distinct sound, don't they? It's a different pop than usual.
Weapon, sir. Just my knife.
Fuck, all he's got left is his knife. Oh my god.
Lost my radio on the jump. I'm sure I'll get chewed out for that.
If there's anyone left alive to chew you out for it.
Locate some landmarks to get our bearings.
At least two of them landed next to one another. You know, even though there's only two of them, just having that one person to communicate ideas with and shit would make it a less stressful situation. Just being there by yourself, you'd be like, well, what the fuck do I do? Fuck this, I'm taking off my uniform and going fishing. Oh, it's that little clicking device to communicate with other troops on the ground. That is dope. Ah, that's clever, putting the coat over himself so that no one can see the light.
We're 4 hours away from when we need to have it secured. We got a lot of walking ahead of us.
7-kilometre trek through an active war zone? Well, add that to the list of things that I will be never fucking doing in my life.
You? Sir. Hey, fellas.
They're actually getting a decent sized unit together with these stragglers that made it to the ground. That is really stupid of him to give away his position like that, no? And he definitely didn't wait for any command. Grenaded the horses? That's fucked up. Fair enough, kill the Nazis, but not the horses.
You wait for my command, Sergeant.
Oh, I'm assuming that guy's going to be the loose cannon of the group then, because that was incredibly stupid. Because depending on how big that German platoon could have been, there could have been carriages and carriages behind that one. They could have just got themselves into a perilous firefight.
Besides having a shitty name, what's his problem?
None of your fucking business, cowboy.
Yeah, I would straight away take that loose cannon and have him on radio operator duty or something. He does not need an assault rifle in his hands.
He just sat there.
You can have a weapon.
It's a nice morning for a war. This is going to be interesting, because this, I believe, is just civilians. So how will they handle coming across civilians in a war zone? Just take them captive? Oh, looks like there ain't no civilians left in this place. And a dead cow. Who is clipping all this livestock? What happened here? Did he die going through the trees? His body looks a bit twisted. Did he get tangled in his chute and die from his chute being tangled? That looked like a horrible death.
Just gotta realize it ain't about you.
Malaki, shut your yap.
Ah, right, so his brother had just died. Shit. Okay, that explains his actions a bit more. Maybe he's not just the typical douchebag I took him for in that last scene. Hi folks, sorry to interrupt, but just real quick, if the next card I pick up is the Ace of Spades, you will join my Patreon group, right? Ha! Join the fucking gang. Can your favourite reactor do that? No.
Where you from, son? Oregon.
No way, there was actual Americans fighting on the German side. Now that is something I did not know. Is that true?
At this year's Hall, Able Company, right?
I notice a few of them have that spade insignia on their helmets. Is that an Easy Company thing? Or was it just something that some of the soldiers from all different companies had?
Hey, keep the pack.
And things like cigarettes and shit would have been so scarce. I feel sorry for all the smokers in the war who just couldn't get a cigarette.
Cigarette?
This nice American prisoner isn't gonna get killed, is he? They fucking did, didn't they? They just executed all the prisoners. Fucking hell.
Wants Easy Company CO up front.
Guess that means you, Dick.
And if none of the commanding officers did survive, then this guy is the new commanding officer at Easy Company.
You'll take the first machine gun with Petty A Gunner. Take the other. Who does that leave?
Poor Malarkey's traumatised after hearing that American prisoner who was fighting on the German side get executed.
Okay, just weapons and ammo. Drop everything else. Got any spare ammo in a pack or a musette bag? Bring it along.
Is that how it was when they went on an actual, you know, sort of mission? Did they leave all their backpack supplies at a sort of camp? Do what you want with the enemy, but leave those cabbages alone.
I'll draw their fire to the right from the truck.
These aren't easy missions these guys are having to do either. They're literally flanking gunner positions. These are incredibly dangerous micro missions they're on. Could have at least been accurate with your first shot. Granted, the machine gun isn't traditionally known for its single shot accuracy. The tree's in actually a good little position to get some high ground until you fire your first shot and then they all just start shooting the shit out of you up the tree. Nice, that guy was good with his hand signals. This is as brutal as Saving Private Ryan, for real. We haven't seen a guy carrying his own arm yet, but that's about the only difference. Did he grenade him in the back of the head? Jesus Christ. I'm finding it hard to think of words while watching this, just because I'm intaking so much visual information.
How bad is it?
I'm sorry, sir. I didn't mean to fuck up. I don't think it's too bad.
This guy's like a drunk person that won't stop apologising. It's okay, mate. It's not your fault you got shot in the ass. I hope it's a cheek and not the fucking hole, because there's a drastic difference in how much I'm gonna wince. Yeah, try grab the handle a third time. See if I don't shoot it again.
Grenades first. Keep going. Go!
Right.
Whoever was in charge of the explosive and pyrotechnic effects did an amazing job, because all these grenade explosions and shit look incredibly authentic. Not too much flame, just a lot of debris and a big sudden bang. That's what a grenade's really like. It's just a big sudden bang and then almost nothing. Wow, he was packing a knuckle duster. Now there's a weapon you don't expect to see someone rocking in a war. I didn't even know that was allowed. If I was in there, I'd have just went in 2 knuckle dusters and dual pistols. You know, if you could choose your loadout. I would die in 30 seconds, but I'd look so fucking cool. They'd find me on the battlefield still dual wielding my pistols with knuckle dusters on, like just... They'd have been like, that dude was a badass. He might not have any confirmed kills, but look how cool he looks. One day John Woo's going to be very inspired by that guy. I don't want to see Malarkey die. I like this dude. He's also one of the only soldiers I know the name of. Do not kill Malarkey. I wonder if the Thompson machine guns just hadn't invented the drum yet, or if the soldiers chose not to go to war looking like Al Capone.
And TNT!
I got TNT, sir! Good job, Private!
Gotta love war. In any other walk of life, that sentence would have made that guy an absolute maniac. But in this one instance, it's a real help to have explosives.
Fire in the hole!
Nice, broke the tank barrel. I wonder if that would work in real life. Do you think a grenade would be powerful enough to warp the steel of a tank cannon? I know war is horrible, but see the actual bits and trenches that you sleep in? They look quite cosy, it'd be actually quite chilled. And every night you would see the benefits. You'd be like, lost a leg today, made my sleeping quarters more spacious. Who's the real loser? Jeez, I wonder how many dead bodies the average soldier saw during this war. That gets done so much in war movies, and it never stops being jarring as fuck. They always do it. I think they did the same thing in Saving Private Ryan. They did it in the Battle of the Bastards in Game of Thrones during the war scene when someone just gets headshotted while conversing with someone. But it is a shocking thing every time you see it.
Winners! Hester said you needed ammo!
Just so happens I've got a necklace that might interest you greatly. These battle sequences are all so authentic looking. And this whole episode has essentially been an action sequence, which is why I was saying it reminds me so much of the start of Saving Private Ryan with the Normandy beach.
Nice ride you got here, Nix.
That's the classic. Is that a Sherman tank? I know that's a classic tank design. I don't know its name though. I'd love to go inside one. I've always been fascinated with just being one of the people in the interior of a tank. Especially when I heard that during the First World War, British tanks came equipped with tea-making facilities. I've always wanted to just chill in a tank and make a coffee.
Most of the 101st Airborne, including Easy Company, are still scattered all over Normandy.
How would you get rest in an hour after all that shit? Your adrenaline would be off the charts. I have no idea how any soldier got sleep in this shit.
Malarkey's ass.
It'd be quite chilled in the back of the Jeep making food like that. The only thing is they might all die from carbon monoxide poisoning if they don't make a vent somewhere. It'd be an embarrassing way to die in the war though if they all get carbon monoxide poisoning.
I lost a man today.
You lost a man today. Well, I don't know if you noticed, but quite a lot of planes were getting shot out of the sky. I think everybody still on the ground has probably lost people today.
Not hungry.
It's nice to see Office Space is still alive and kicking so far. Okay, so I learnt another name. That guy's called Dick. That'll be easy to remember. That's one of the most used words in my vocabulary. That is almost as mad as in Chernobyl when the people are on the bridge of death looking at the initial explosion. A grotesque fireworks show. Some part of your human instinct can't look away from the chaos, but over there is death and destruction, make no mistake about it. No way, they've actually got the medals listed and shit for that mission. This show is so authentic, it's crazy. Man, it means so much more that all these little details were accurate to me. Okay, and that was episode 2 of Band of Brothers, Day of Days, and I will be back in just a minute with my thoughts on that. So, Day of Days, what did I think of that? What an absolutely epic episode 2 this was. Completely crazy. It was basically an hour-long assault episode. As I said throughout it, it reminded me so much of the Saving Private Ryan Normandy Beach invasion, except from the sky, just going into an absolute wall of artillery fire, many of the planes getting taken out of the sky before they even touch down. The guys that do hit the ground are in disarray, complete chaos, outside of their landing zones, broken apart from their companies, and you can only imagine that feeling as well, like just being in enemy territory and knowing that in every direction, guaranteed, is your enemy. That is an intimidating thought, especially when you've been broken apart from your company. All your coordination and plans are out the window. A lot of the supplies have fallen off you or dropped off or got knocked off as you jumped out of the planes in an emergency jump. The disorientation of it all must have been the most anxiety building thing rather than any of the other shit. They knew they were getting into all the other shit. It's the unexpected that always stresses you out the most. And yeah, from there basically the entire episode is this mission where they have to take out the German artillery and anti-aircraft weaponry, and they're flanking them from all different sides. And I've got to say, the battle footage they captured for this show, for me, is right up there with Saving Private Ryan. I suppose scale wise you think, Saving Private Ryan probably scaled it up, and this was more close quarterly, I guess. It was filmed tighter, but that's the only difference. So if you imagine you can film this much of a field with X budget, they just literally brought the camera in a little bit, but kept the production value, but just limited the budget to film it closer. Does that make sense? But within these close shots, everything looked such high level, no poor effects. The CGI blended beautifully in the nighttime shots and the landing, and the practical effects using the daytime with the explosions and stuff like that all worked perfectly. And again, I'm not going to do this through the whole series, but you really have to tip your hat to 35mm. Like, it looks so good, this show, and that is a testament to the camera quality they were using when they filmed it. All in all, a brilliant episode 2, and I can completely understand why people love this show so much already. It's brilliantly written and the production values are second to none, and on top of that, the ensemble cast they've managed to assemble is like actually a bit legendary when you weigh it up name for name. And I'm looking forward to seeing what Easy Company get up to next week. If you've liked this video, click like, subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this, ring the bell to be notified as to when they drop. If there's anything you want to talk about, comment down below, and share this around to anyone you think might appreciate it or want to watch these reactions along with us. My Patreon link is down in the description. If you become a patron, you get access to my blog, you get access to these reactions I put on YouTube a month and a half in advance, and you also get access to full-length versions of everything I react to. So consider becoming a patron, it helps me and my channel out so much, and until next time, I have been BA, peace.